Am I as I am? Am I as I am, as you are? I would like for you guys to understand something when dealing with the understanding of principality and principles, especially if you're in a relationship, a marriage, partnership, uh, whatever you want to call it, ship. If you are dealing with someone who may be a potential mate, who is a mate, or may be a potential mate, whatever experience you're experiencing with this individual, there's something to understand about it. Um, Especially dealing with the understanding of principality and principles. Um, One of the things to understand is, and the reason I'm saying this is to become, be as less heavy in your emotional field, dealing with emotions, feeling, and thought. In order to become less heavier or to become lighter in your emotions, feeling, and thought, it works and it helps to understand certain principles that are in existence parallel to your experience with this other individual. One thing to understand is you are in this whole experience by yourself, regardless of who you may find yourself in company with, or who may be keeping you company, in other words. What you may call a relationship or partnership, significant other, mate. You are primarily and ultimately by yourself, always, in all ways of understanding. That's one thing to understand. Regardless of how close you stand next to somebody, how tight you hold their hand, how tight you hug them, how much you lay next to them, how close you lay next to them, you are basically in your mind, in your own mind at all times. And that's just something basic to understand. There really is no debating on that, no building on it or disagreeing. That is a fact, right? So basically, that's just one thing to understand. You are in this whole experience of what we call life, or what I call being live, by yourself, completely by yourself. The next thing to understand is you projected a partner through your personal and private needs, wants, and desires that you have within your mind and within your body. And this is basically based upon the principles of void and fulfillment, fulfillment and void. Whatever void you have inside of yourself, a fulfillment arises. And a fulfillment arises and appears as a person that has certain qualities that you can engage with. These are certain things we're going step by step to understand for the purpose of engagement and interaction and communication, so on and so on, whatever that may lead to, according to also nature's purpose and intention as well, which is reproduction, offspring, etc. Right? So you find yourself in between these realities or these realms of existence or these planes of existence, and you just exist in between these realms and planes of existence. But principles is basically the foundation and the platform that is your standpoint of existence. Okay? Another thing to understand is the self-projected partner appeared as an effect. So that person that you call your partner, which is a self-projected partner, meaning that you yourself projected that partner in front of you, around you, in company of you. that acquaintance happened because of a certain void within you that needs to be fulfilled through the transaction and interaction of another. So basically, there's something within you that always has its back or always has your back. You always have your back. It always has its back, whether you realize it, know it, acknowledge it, have knowledge of it, knowledgeable of it, or not. This is what you truly are, what the I truly is, beyond the you and the me that you think you are. Okay? Another thing to understand is the projected partner appeared so that you can interact with them through principles or what we know as principality for the sole purpose of basically spirit, I guess you can say, enhancing itself, using the devices of image, body, and personality for the sole purpose of communication, connection, interaction, as the gluing bond between two connections to make that one whole. So the one always existed. These two projected appearances come together, and as it comes together, this one becomes whole. That one is what we know as spirit, or what you may call love. Okay, but it's actually spirit, because love cannot, I'm not going to go into that too deeply, but love is something personal. You cannot share love with another. Just like you can't share your oxygen with another. Your oxygen is your oxygen. Okay, I don't want to get too deep into that. I get too lost and veer off for what I'm talking about. Okay. So it's basically the projected partner appeared so that you can interact with them through what we know as principles of principality. And it's basically for the purpose of spirit just basically doing something for itself, what we may call enhancing itself for whatever reason. The existence of spirit is using you as the experience to do something to itself, to come in contact with itself, to know of itself. Okay? And basically it uses a device of image or body and personality. Some of the things or some of the main things that draw for the attraction to be met, for the acquaintance to be met, for the attraction to come in contact. And as these two come in contact, that one enhances itself, one views itself to some degree. Okay. And that happens through basically communication, which you may call connection and interaction. Next thing is, since this self-projected partner was created from you and projected from you for you, they're indefinitely going to reflect some things, ways, behaviors, interests, and characteristics of you, because they are you. So why would something that came from you not have some kind of connection to you and be of you to some degree? It has to be that way. And basically that's what you guys call having things in common. Like, oh, we have this in common, or we have that in common, or we have this in common. Having similar interests or the same interests in certain things, because it is you. It's you that you are interacting with. And in the midst of you interacting with yourself, something happens to the spirit or the thing in the middle that made the connection happen in order to push its purpose forward. Okay? So this is certain things to understand when dealing with a relationship or partnership or marriage or significant other you want to call. It's just certain things to understand while you're going on, there is something else parallel to you that is also going on, mirror affecting what is actually happening in the present moment. That's occurring in another kind of present moment. in a different realm of existence that is actually sustaining your action and interaction from a whole nother way of understanding based upon your awareness. Okay? Um, you know, only you can keep yourself company, not someone else or anyone else. You can only draw to you, you. Itself can only draw itself to itself from a spiritual point of view and a spiritual point of understanding. Okay? Because the primary and ultimate being that you truly are is spirit. That is the alpha and omega of your existence. There is nothing outside of that perimeter of existence. There's nothing outside that perimeter of existence that's within existence. It is that. That is the totality of it all. And once you understand what spirit is selfish. It's another thing to understand. Spirit, what we know as spirit is a selfish thing. Which means it's only out for itself. It only exists to do something to itself, to meet itself, to imbue itself, to prosper itself, to enhance itself, regardless of who and what you think that you are, because you don't really truly exist. Okay? Spirit is selfish. Spirit can only see itself. This is why I say you can only keep yourself company, because spirit can only see itself. There's nothing outside of the existence of spirit. There may be different people, different color, different heights, different experiences, different ages, whatever it may be. But each individual composes this thing called spirit or spiratu. And that is the main connected component between all facets of individuals. Within this collection of individuals, there is one main. Between this collection of individuals, there is one individualized thing. And that's the whole point to understand. Because according to spirit, nothing else is in existence besides itself. There is nothing else in existence besides itself. Okay? Spirit cannot be split. It is not a thing or one thing which can be split into two. It remains one. You understand? One is what it is and what it can only be. It cannot split itself into two things. It can only be one thing. This is why, regardless of what experience you have with Tom, Dick, and Harry, Jane, Beth, and Jill, it doesn't matter. You're seeing multitudes, it's seeing singular. And can only and will only see singular. It's another thing to understand. Spirit is only here to unify itself. It's only here to imbue itself. There's no such thing as you met her or she met him. According to spirit, there's no such thing as that. That's all basically just spirit unitizing itself through the illusional vehicles of you and another. And once you understand how two people come together, two individuals, two come together because something is in the middle. One thing is in the middle, these two on the sides, these two can only come together because there's one thing in the middle. So once you understand those spiritual mathematics, you understand that only one, which is spirit, can hold two together, which are what you know as people. Understand those mathematics. Only one can hold something of two together. Amaya Sazian, Am I as I am, as you are. See you guys next time. Until then, I'll keep you envisioned. 1, 0.